cops don't give a fuck. Government don't really give a fuck about you niggas. Y'all niggas be really, the rich don't give a fuck about you niggas. Y'all niggas lame as hell. How many examples after examples after examples that has to be shown to you bitch ass niggas? Yo. How we doing, man? We vibing, we good. I got a video, obviously. Real life anti-heroes in history by Serious History. Let's do it.
Thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. What happens when the system is so corrupt, people start cheering for criminals? Today we're going over stories of people who became real life anti-heroes when they were pushed too far. Lam Piao. It's 1897, and in the dusty backlands of North...
What we call that dude that shot that CEO from United Healthcare, is it the insurance? What was that dude? Editor, put up that name, please. Would we call him a anti-hero? Me personally. Okay, so what do you mean by like anti-hero? Cause like anti-hero, like if you think about anime, I'm thinking about My Hero Academia, where what's his name? The dude that was trying to fight All Might.
Subject: the hero killer, Stain.
He was technically an anti-hero, but if we talk about anti-hero as like fighting back versus the government or anybody that's trying to control you, then yeah, hell yeah, that we would definitely categorize that guy as an anti-hero for sure. Me personally, I'm gonna say me personally, I would.
Eastern Brazil, a boy named Virgulino Ferreira da Silva is born to a family of simple farmers. His parents stare into the eyes of their newborn son and have no idea that he will one day become the most feared outlaw in Brazilian history. Growing up, Virgulino and his family aren't rich, but they get by, farming their small plot of land in the Sertão, the harsh semi-arid region of Brazil's northeast. Virgulino helps his father tend to their crops and goats. In his free time, he taught himself how to read and sew. Life is simple, and simple is good. But in the early 1900s, the Brazilian backlands are a lawless place controlled by wealthy landowners who rule their territories like medieval warlords. Called corones, these men are essentially oligarchs with their own private armies and who use the local police as their personal thugs. In 1916, Virgulino is 19 years old, and his family gets into a land dispute with a powerful local family called the Saturninos. At first, Virgulino's father tries to handle this the legal way by going to the authorities, then moving twice to try to keep his family safe and out of trouble. But the Saturninos are wealthy, and this feud will only end when they say it will. They accuse Virgulino's father of stealing one of their goats, and a group of police officers work—
Nigga, what? So you just picking on me at this point, nigga? I done moved twice.
I'm about to crash the fuck out.
You ain't just one of my lane, you follow, you harassing me. Ah, fuck no.
Looking for the Saturninos show up at the farm. Virgulino's father walks out to see what the matter is, and he discovers the cops are not there to make an arrest. They're there to send a warning. Virgulino watches from his hiding spot as the police beat his father nearly to death in front of their house. His mother is screaming for them to stop while his siblings cry out in fear. There's nothing he can do. The police laugh and ride away, leaving his father broken and bleeding in the dirt. His father—
I ain't even gonna lie, I'm hit. By 19, I'm 19 years old. I seen that. I come from a good two-parent household. I probably don't even think violence ain't even like that. I ain't even really, you know, I'm a little safe, you know what I mean? I'm a little cowardly. But this would turn me up. At this point, what you want me dead? At what point would it stop? I haven't heard no solution. They just doing it just to do it. Ah, hell no.
Survives, but he's never the same. The family is traumatized and terrified, but the Saturninos aren't done.
My dad ain't never the same. Oh yeah, like I definitely getting mad right now. Let me lock in
with them yet. On May 18th, 1921, the police return, and this time they open fire on the family home, and Virgulino's father is shot and killed.
Why though? What?
Virgulino barely escapes with his life, along with a few of his brothers. As he runs through the brush with bullets whizzing past his head, he turns back to see his family's home burning. His entire life, he had been taught to follow the law, to be a good person, but—
You think you know me?
In the end, all that got him was his family murdered. The world—
He turned around looking at his life burnt down. I ain't turning back, nigga. I'm letting you know right now, you just destroyed my life. What do I have to live for? No, yeah. Every person that I ever see with that uniform gonna die.
The world is cruel. It had shown him that there was no justice for people like him. And in that moment, he decides that if respect cannot be earned through an honest life, he will take it with violence.
I mean, bruh.
I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Man, who the fuck Rick and Morty ass Porter is this? What's this?
Hey, did somebody...
No, see this is that.
Virgilino and his surviving brothers flee into the wilderness and join up with a group of cangaceiros, bandits who roamed the backlands of northeast Brazil. These men had their own code and their own brutal way of dealing with the wealthy landowners who had oppressed them. And this was exactly what Virgilino had been looking for. He quickly rises through the ranks and earns himself the nickname Lampião, the land.
Damn, what's happened to your eye, my boy? God damn, what happened? You got lazy eye or something? God damn, that's a fire name though. My boy. Why is that?
Because he could shoot a lever-action rifle so fast that his muzzle looked like a flickering lamp in the night. By 1922, Lampião had assumed control of the Cangaceiro band, and they began terrorizing the backlands. They attacked small towns and farms in 7 states, took hostages for ransom, extorted money by threats of violence,
Okay, nigga, what? I don't agree with none of this shit right here. These niggas ain't do nothing either. Look at the old nigga, man. Like, what are we doing? Like, you don't remind us that this don't look like your pop? Have you not went back and spit back for the nigga that killed your pops? Man, then you want to turn a life of crime. For what? That don't even make any sense, man. I'm going to go spin back. Man, dang, man, these other people, they do nothing to me. I'm going to go spin back. He tripped out.
Tortured, firebranded, raped, and maimed. But unlike other bandits who just robbed and pillaged randomly, Lampião initially targets the wealthy corones and their properties.
You horny motherfuckers. Like, why is that always a thing? Like, why is that always a thing? Why do y'all always, like, God, y'all be sick, bro? Like, dead ass, y'all be sick in the mind.
Word of Lampião's raids on the rich spreads through the region, and he becomes a folk hero to the poor. The bespectacled cangaceiro was a walking contradiction.
When they just, I mean, I ain't selling, bro, no nigga that's scraping the nigga. I ain't doing it.
When he wasn't robbing and killing people, he would pray at churches regularly. He would brutally execute most police officers, but spare the townspeople he liked. He would rob from the rich and then buy items from local shopkeepers with them.
Oh, okay. Because I was just going to point that out earlier, because why the hell they celebrating you? It ain't like they goddamn, he's spending money back with your ass. He really just being a boss himself, like a ruthless boss that only prey on the rich and police officers. Like automatic police officers killing police officers off the rip. But any authority, smacking y'all ass. Don't join the police while you in my city.
Money. This isn't to say he was a nice guy or anything, just that there were reasons some of the poor didn't think he was all that bad a guy. In 1930, something unexpected happens. Lampião meets a woman named Maria Bonita, who, according to historical accounts, was super hot. She's married to a shoemaker, but after meeting Lampião, she leaves her husband, joins Lampião's gang, and becomes the first woman cangaceira. Together they rob, raid, and raise absolute hell throughout northeast Brazil, gaining a reputation similar to Bonnie and Clyde. They were sticking it to the man and having a blast.
Man, they version of Bonnie and Clyde. Talking about similar. That was it. I mean, they was ruthless though. These are ruthless because they graping niggas. Was Bonnie and Clyde graping niggas? As soon as you start graping niggas, you on a whole nother level. You sick. You're sick. If she with that, she sick. You already know. You look at your eye. You sick.
While doing it. But as time progressed, Lampião's tactics became increasingly brutal. In one raid, his gang tortures and mutilates their victims as a warning to others. He personally oversees the executions of dozens of people, many of them beheaded in public squares. The boy who just wanted a simple life on the farm had transformed into something truly terrifying. By 1938, due to his increasingly brutal actions, Lampião had lost the trust of many of the local townspeople, and his luck finally runs out.
I mean, was he just doing that to everybody? Because I'm lost. If he was doing that to rich and poor, man, like what was the fucking point? Like you just turn into them, nigga.
I stink!
Oh, trash.
Government had been working with local informants who tracked the movements of his gang. On July 28th, while Lampião, Maria Bonita, and 9 other gang members are sleeping in a hideout, they're ambushed by a police battalion at dawn. Lampião wakes to the sound of gunfire and grabs his rifle, but he's immediately hit multiple times. Maria Bonita tries to fight back, but she's
gunned down beside him.
Within minutes, the couple and 9 other gang members are dead. The police, wanting to
Got that, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that shit crazy.
make an example that would end the Cangaceiro lifestyle forever, do something absolutely insane. They cut off the heads of all 11 gang members, preserve them in kerosene, and go on a tour throughout the Northeast, displaying them in town squares for everyone to see. Which seems like a totally normal and not at all psychotic thing to do. The heads of Lampiao and Maria Bonita were brought from town to town, and they weren't properly buried until 1969, over 30 years after their deaths. Ned Kelly
30 years, over 30 years. You walked around for over 30 years with a head. What? Okay. All right. I'm gonna move on.
It's 1865, and in the small farming town of Avenel, Australia, an 11-year-old boy named Ned Kelly is walking along a creek when he hears screaming. A 7-year-old has fallen in and is drowning. Without hesitation, Ned jumps into the water and pulls him out, saving his life. He's given a bright green sash as a thank you for his heroism, and he proudly parades it around town. Ned is a good kid who is trying to survive in an impossible situation. His father, Red, is an Irish ex-convict doing his best to make ends meet on their small farm, but it's brutal. They're dirt poor and the land is unforgiving. The Kelly farm is tucked away in rural Victoria where the soil is tough and the British colonial authorities watch ex-convicts like hawks, just waiting for them to screw up. Things get so bad that Red already moved them once to his smaller farm in Avenel, basically gambling that the new area would solve all their problems. It doesn't, and the Kellys continue to struggle. One day, a calf wanders onto their property. Red looks at his starving children and then looks at this calf. Desperate and with no options, he kills it to feed his family. He knows this is wrong, but he doesn't know what else to do. The police show up and drag Red away in front of a young Ned for cattle theft. He's sentenced to 6 months of hard labor. He comes back a broken man and spirals into alcohol abuse. By December 1866, he's dead. At just 12 years old, Ned Kelly is now the man of the house. He's got 7 other siblings, and the responsibility of keeping his entire family alive just landed on his shoulders. The Kellys moved to Greta to be with his mom's extended family, but that doesn't magically solve their poverty problem. Ned needs money, and he needs it fast. That's on his shoulders. The Kellys moved to Greta to be with his mom's extended family, but that doesn't magically solve their poverty problem. Ned needs money, and he needs it fast. So when bushranger Harry Power offers to take him on as an apprentice, Ned, now desperate, agrees. They become quite the duo, and Power teaches him everything: how to rob, how to survive in the bush, and how to stay one step ahead of the law. This goes on until June 1870, when Power gets arrested. Everyone knows Ned was involved, but there's no actual proof, so he walks free, and for a minute, it seems like maybe he got away with it. But in April 1871, Ned's riding around on a horse that belongs to a family friend when a cop attacks him out of nowhere. Ned gets subdued and pistol whipped, and here's the kicker. Turns out the horse had been stolen, just not by Ned. He's sentenced to 3 years of hard labor. When Ned finally gets out of prison, he tries to go straight, but his reputation precedes him everywhere. No one is willing to give him a chance at redemption. Eventually, he realizes that it's no use and goes back to a life of crime. He starts up a horse stealing ring, and surprisingly, he's really good at it, and it's incredibly successful. He's finally, for the first time, making actual money. But in April 1878, a cop named Fitzpatrick shows up at the Kelly house drunk off his ass, trying to arrest Ned's younger brother Dan. There's a scuffle, and Fitzpatrick gets shot in the hand. There are conflicting accounts on who pulled the trigger, but regardless, he goes straight to his superiors and claims the Kellys attacked him. Ned and Dan are already in the woods when the police come looking, but their mother is arrested and sentenced to 3 years of hard labor. The brothers offer to turn themselves in if they'll let their mom go. It's a direct trade. You want us? We're right here. Just free her, but the police refuse. At this point, Ned finally realizes that he is not the problem. It is the entire system that's broken. And if that is the case, then he's done playing by any rules.
I would feel the same way. Didn't get in trouble with that dude pulling up at a house with no warrant or just pulling a gun, trying to arrest the other guy. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, this shit embarrassing. But the law been like this for forever.
Joined by his brother and 2 other men, he forms the Kelly Gang. This time, when cops come looking for them, Ned and Dan set up an ambush and 3 police officers end up dead. This causes the government to lose their minds. They pass the Felons Apprehension Act, which basically declares the Kelly brothers outlaws in the old school sense, meaning anyone can shoot them on sight. But Ned is done hiding. In December 1878, the Kelly gang hits a bank in Euroa. They rob it clean, but here's the thing. They keep everyone in town safe during the robbery. In fact, they take the hostages out to the back of the bank and, not making this up, perform a trick riding show for them before riding away with the loot. Yeah! Come on now.
That nigga said, come on now.
Here you go.
Hold on, why are they Australia?
That's a good boy.
Maybe that's where we at.
What the fuck? In February 1879, the Kellys rob another bank in Gerald Airy. Ned finds mortgage and loan documents in the vault and says, "The bloody banks are crushing the life's blood out of the poor struggling man," as he lights them on fire. He lectures the hostages from the bank on police corruption and the unfair justice system, then sets them free before escaping back into the bush. Following the raid, he writes a manifesto called the Gerald Airy Letter, in which he rants on the broken system and sends a warning to the law. Word of Ned's crime spree begins to spread, and many in the area begin cheering for him in his war against corruption. The government issues a reward of £8,000 for the gang's capture, which is equivalent to $1.5 million in today's money, and begin to take away land rights from Kelly supporters, but none of it worked, and the Kelly gang remained at large. But eventually, the £8,000 is too enticing to ignore forever, and in June 1880, the Kelly gang discovers that their friend Aaron Sherritt had been cooperating with the cops and providing them information on their whereabouts. The gang brings a mutual friend and has him knock and call for Sherritt at his door. Not suspecting anything, Aaron opens the door, and Ned's associates unload 2 shotgun shells into his neck and chest, killing him dead. Ned knew the police
Bitch ass nigga.
would call in a special train full of reinforcements for this murder, so he had already planned his next steps. He had some men derail the train tracks into Glenrowan and made plans to shoot any survivors after the crash. They would then blow up a bridge, torch the courthouse, and free the prisoners in jail before returning to the bush. The Kelly gang storms the Glenrowan Inn and takes every person inside hostage. In true Ned Kelly fashion, he throws a party for the hostages with games, booze, music, and dancing. Everyone's stuck there, being forced to have a good time while waiting for the eventual train wreck. But it grows late, and no train filled with police seems to have crashed yet. So Ned lets 21 of the hostages he deems trustworthy go home to sleep. But Ned had judged one man wrong. Amongst the free hostages was the schoolmaster for the town, and he immediately runs out to the train tracks to try to alert the police. He waves down the train right before it hits the sabotage track, saving the lives of all the police officers aboard. Back in the
Mind your motherfucking business, bitch. He ain't never killed the hostage. Man, look, bro. And then, like, he been saying something about preaching about what's going on. You don't give a fuck about none of that, huh? Just like what Deontay, man, I watched him with the grits and eggs, man. Who said that shit, man? Y'all niggas be so worried about.
You don't want to see tax cuts for the rich because you still think you're going to be rich. Or you don't want to see increased taxes on the rich because you still daydreaming about being a millionaire. You got it on your vision board, you're going to be a billionaire. So you don't want to see eat the rich because you plan on being the rich. But why does it never cross anybody's mind to be rich and righteous? You don't want to change the game, you just want to be a player.
We already know him, bitch ass, dude.
Kelly is releasing the rest of the hostages for the night when the cops suddenly attack the hotel. Ned and his gang rush into the hotel and put on crude suits of armor they had constructed out of plow steel. Each set of armor weighs almost 100 pounds, but is bulletproof, and the Kelly gang lumber out to engage the police in a shootout. Bullets fly back and forth, and some of the hostages are caught in the crossfire. While makeshift armor protects their bodies, the limbs of the outlaws are completely exposed.
Now look, bitch ass nigga, look what happened. Some of the motherfucking hostages that you were just partying with got killed in the process, nigga. Them cops don't give a fuck. Government don't really give a fuck about you niggas. Y'all niggas be really, the rich don't give a fuck about you niggas. Y'all niggas lame as hell. How many examples after examples after examples that has to be shown to you bitch ass niggas? You niggas are delusional. Everybody should be able to enjoy fucking life with money, nigga. Every single person that gets to live in this fucking world should deserve $1 billion, deserve $1 million, 100,000, $1 million. Like, they deserve it, nigga, because we live here, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about, nigga? Not only 1% of people, niggas that get rich. You niggas lame as fuck.
And soon Ned takes shots to his left hand, arm, and right foot. He stumbles out into the bush, bleeding heavily. The other gang members continue to fire at the cops from inside of the hotel. At dawn the next morning, Ned, armed with 3 pistols, lumbers out of his hiding spot and confronts the police in a last stand. Bullets ricochet off of his armor as he walks forward, firing rounds at the law. His brother and another gang member continue to provide cover fire from inside the hotel. Finally, an officer realizes Ned's legs are completely unprotected and fires 2 shotgun shells into his thighs, finally bringing down the outlaw. The remainder of the Kelly gang dies in the subsequent gunfight. Miraculously, Ned, though badly injured, survives the shootout. While being treated by a doctor, they find that he was wearing the green sash from his childhood that he had earned by saving the drowning boy's life. He is put on trial and is sentenced to death by hanging. Thousands protested Ned Kelly's sentence, and a petition with 32,000 signatures was submitted requesting clemency, but all the attempts to save him fail. On November 11th,
how many examples after examples after examples that has to be shown to you bitch ass niggas? See what I mean, bitch ass nigga? They don't give a fuck about what y'all got to say. 32,000 people was out there trying to get him off that motherfucker. They don't give a fuck, nigga. They was like, they killed one of us, nigga. It's over. It's over. We ain't going. That's fine. I feel that though, but at the same time, I don't like they get to make the rules and break them, bitch ass nigga. Y'all play favorites. Fuck, nigga.
1880, at just 25 years old, Ned walks up to the gallows. The executioner
25? Well, y'all was thugging.
Asks him if he has any last words. He looks up towards the sky and says, "Such is life."
Nigga, what?
Fulan Devi. It's the 1960s, and in a field along the Yamuna River in rural India, a 10-year-old girl named Fulan Devi and her sister are sitting eating chickpeas straight off the plants. They're hungry, and this used to be their family's land, so technically they're just eating their own food. But there's just one problem. Years ago, Fulan's uncle and his son stole this land from her father by bribing the village leader to change the land records. Because Fulan's family is from one of the lowest in India's caste system, there was nothing
Y'all some bitch ass niggas too. Y'all gonna bribe a nigga to go under a nigga because you want it? Go get your own. Damn.
they could do to fight back. Eventually, her cousin finds them in his field and he orders them to leave. Fulan refuses, and enraged by her defiance, her cousin beats her unconscious. Fulan's family reports this to the village leader, but instead of justice, he orders their entire family to be beaten as punishment. Her parents are
Nigga, what? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. This shit annoying.
terrified she's gonna get them all killed, so they make a decision.
So you telling me just for asking for help, for justice, for righteousness, I could get killed? Nigga, what? You know how pathetic the life is, bro? I wouldn't want to, like, bro, every day I would be just sitting there just like, yeah, I'm finna crash out. Nah, ain't no way I'm finna sit here and spend the rest of my life in fear of shit getting took it out of, right under me because a nigga say so. What the fuck is you talking about, nigga?
That shit happen to me though.
Yeah, not going. Not going, I'm sorry, not going.
They arrange a marriage for her to a man named Putilal. He's 3 times her age.
You freaky frog!
And immediately after the marriage, he wants to get freaky with this literal child, which is
Nigga, what? Bro, come on. Who's writing these stories? This is fucking real? I'm like trying to wrap my head around why are niggas so creeped out? Like, children is a fetish to you niggas. Like, what the fuck be wrong with you niggas, bro?
super gross. Fulan refuses his advances and eventually gets sick with measles. She bounces around between relatives for a while before ending up back in her home village. For some reason, when she returns, the village leader's son decides he's in love with her, but she rejects his advances. His ego can't take the bruising, so he bruises her in another violent beating. Her family sends her back to live with Putilal, but I guess the guy couldn't wait and he had gone and married someone else. He keeps Fulan.
My family sent me back. My family. Bro.
On around for a few more years, and she is abused by both husband and wife, until finally, he just abandons her near a river. Fulan again finds her.
Nigga, what? Like, bro, and then like y'all go on to live this good ass life, no karma until the last end, and when you're 67 and you get hit by a fucking bus. Like, bro, fuck no, bro.
Her way back to her home village in 1979, only to discover her cousin destroying her family's crops. This pisses her off, so she picks up a stone and throws it at him, hitting him in the face. The police are called, and she is arrested. In custody, the cops beat her and violate her sexually. When they're done with her, they just let her go. Now, all of this is so.
Bro, she haven't got one fucking break. As soon as the first sharp fucking thing I get, bro, I'm tweaking. I see why you see these little movies and shit where niggas over there be ready to kill. Cause like, bro, I have been born to be used.
Horrible, it's hard to believe it's true, but somehow it just keeps getting worse. Next, she's then kidnapped by a group of bandits led by a man named Babu. He treats her like property and forces himself on her sexually and beats her into submission. For Fulan, life was nothing but pain and misery. But it's at this lowest of lows, when all hope seems lost, that the most unexpected thing happens.
I cracked some in my fucking mind, went kink.
Aang's second in command, a man named Vikram, actually starts to feel something for Fulan. He asks Babu to stop treating her that way. Babu laughs in his face, so Vikram murders him and takes control of the gang. For maybe the first time.
Goddamn then, okay then.
In her entire life, someone treats Fulan like a human being. She and Vikram fall madly in love.
Wait, hold on.
She and Vikram fall madly in love.
Y'all just like, oh, he dead, you lead a bet. All right, boy, we see you, boy. Damn, that quick.
Trains her in how to shoot
I don't want you around me, ever.
a rifle, and together they start leading raids on higher caste villages. They even track down Fulan's ex-husband and beat him violently as payback for all he had done to her. News of her exploits spreads through the lower caste communities, and they start cheering her on. They call her the beautiful bandit. Fulan at long last has love and respect, but soon it would all be ripped away from her again. In 1980, two former members of the bandit gang get released from prison, a man named Sriram Singh and his brother. They're Thakurs, a higher caste than everyone else in the gang, and so they immediately try to take back control. In the power struggle, Vikram is murdered, and Sriram takes Fulan back to their village as a prisoner. Again, she's subjected to the most brutal abuse imaginable, and in a final insult designed to break her will, Sriram forces her to fetch water completely naked in front of the entire village. Eventually, Fulan manages to escape. As she runs away, she decides she can't take it anymore. She has been a victim her entire life, and she is done with it. Every single person who hurt her, they're all gonna pay. She meets another bandit named Man Singh, no relation to Sriram, and they become lovers. They form a new gang, and Fulan's got only one thing on
I ain't gonna lie, you been throwing that body anywhere, baby.
her mind: revenge. On February 14th, 1981, she arrives at the Thakur village with her new bandit gang and demands that Sriram Singh and his brother be brought out. The villagers claim they're not there, so Fulan makes a decision. She orders 22 Thakur men from the village to be tied up and led down to the river. These same men watched Sriram humiliate and abuse her and did nothing. At the river, her gang shoots every single one of them in the back. 20 of the men die, but 2 survive to report what would be called the Bemai Massacre. The government launches one of the largest manhunts in Indian history, but Fulan is untouchable in the ravines, protected by lower caste villagers who see her as a hero. She evades capture until March 1983, when she finally surrenders and is imprisoned for 10 years. Now, usually these tragic stories end here, but Fulan's takes another improbable turn. In 1994, her charges are dropped, and she's released from prison. She decides to run for government office, and in 1996, she gets elected to parliament. Her campaign focuses on improving conditions for poor villages and stopping child marriages. She becomes a national icon and a hero to those in the lower castes, known as the Bandit Queen. But ultimately, Fulan's story would not have a happy ending. In 2001, she was assassinated outside of her home by another politician who was seeking revenge for the Bemai massacre.
That shit lame as fuck. Getting revenge? Bitch ass nigga, you started it. I would've kept that file on me. I ain't gonna lie. Bandit Queen, baby, you tripping. I would've kept that file on me. Fuck, but bodyguard, it's on me. Nigga, I know what I've been through, what I done. It's on me. That was a good video though, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Keep going up, man. Subscribe, like. I'm out, brother. Peace.